You gotta click the stream horizontal. That's
Why isn't it just who the hell is streaming in portrait mode?
I don't know. I could not tell you. I'm just telling you what I know. Let me see if I can pull this up. Gotta go to your account. Are people coming back? We'll figure it out.
Everybody's confused like I am.
Yep. Upcoming. I'm not showing the video yet.
It's weird.
Let me reset the app and maybe that'll do something.
Bong, 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 bong.
Sorry, buddy. Need my wallet.
Why? You never break it out when you're here.
Well, I still need it for driving. I didn't make it super far, but it was enough to make me late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I got closer than I've ever gotten before to the live stream working.
Yeah. There, we're on.
Yay.
We're gonna wait a second for our people to come back.
You got it.
Alright, I did my homework.
Me.
I got the things up. Hey, Miss Carpenter's here. And then Farney Ron says, much better.
Well.
This is what happens when I'm here. I'm sorry, everybody. I forgot my wallet at home and I had to run back. And it made me just a little bit late.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean,
now,
what was I going to do?
Here's something that'll blow your mind.
Ooh, we got a new person here.
Say hi.
Paul Stamp. Stamp. I'm going to call you Pauls. Okay, sorry.
Stamp, you're going to appreciate this.
There you go.
She is the IT department on this thing. I used to work in IT.
And you don't know how it works anymore?
A college paid me to fix their stuff.
And you couldn't figure out how
to
be horizontal. I got you. Stamp, I've watched all your videos from Duran, but it's the first time live.
All right.
How do you like them apples?
Well, you've picked one hell of a day.
These two.
Because we have to talk about Evil Woman before we get started.
Miss Carpenter saying she likes Wendy's. I was planning when I was going to be on time to switch to a Duran Duran shirt. But
listen, Wendy's
was
Duran Central. We used to go to the Wendy's and bring in our turntable and play it over their one speaker in the room.
There you go. Beat After Beat says, hello, Tom. They're talking to Tom Baker, not you.
Oh. Right, because they would, if they were talking to me, they would say, exciting young Thomas.
Yeah, that's true. We learned that. Evil Woman has hit number 8 on iTunes. How do you like them?
I bought it.
Dude, I love it.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Evil Woman.
Well, it's Evil Woman, but...
Beat After Beat says, hello, Thomas. That's you.
It reminds me of Monkey Business.
Why?
The arrangement.
I don't agree.
Well, listen to them back to back.
Well, I guess I can listen to them back to back. It's just usually if something like that happens, I'm listening to it, I'm thinking in the back of my head. I was thinking Evil Woman.
Yeah. Well, I think they did a pretty good job with it. The arrangement is funky and fresh, but it is very disco.
Great cover, Evil Woman, for me in 4 to 5 best from Dance Macabre.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Probably it passes a lot on the album. Definitely. Spellbound is one I'm thinking of.
That is so good. I've been listening to it nonstop in my car. It has made it to my playlist and it has not left. So.
Did you buy the single?
No.
Come on, give him $1.
No.
Give him $1.
Nah.
Give him $1.
I have YouTube Music. I already pay for that.
Give him $1.
I already pay for that.
Give him $1.
Hello,
Laser Brain.
$. Hello, Laser Brain.
I don't know what that was.
Okay.
Here's my problem.
My glasses are really dirty, so I'm taking this
with
off.
This song, and I listen. I have to critique it.
Uh-oh.
Evil Woman. It's not there.
You're more bugged by that than I am.
You cannot divorce those two things.
The instrumental version of Dance Macabre Deluxe is in the charts number 31, and New Moon has come back at number 45.
Instrumental of Dance Macabre.
The instrumental version on Dance Macabre Deluxe.
Really?
Yeah.
How come I don't know that?
I don't know. Are you deluxe yet?
Yeah.
I don't think you're deluxe.
I swear I am.
Oh, well.
There's that new song I sent you yesterday, Something Pink Nightmare.
I never even got that message. Are you sure you sent that to me?
I sent you a picture of it.
Let's investigate here.
Masquerade or something of the pink something.
No, I just got Evil Woman on here.
Oh, well, I wonder where that went.
You probably sent it to...
Who did I send it to?
Well, I guess you're going to make a new friend.
Well, Pink Dream or something.
Tom Baker says, I'm not a Dance Macabre or Future Past fan.
Wow.
That's a hot take.
That's a pretty hot take.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I've said many times, musical taste is impossible to quantify.
Plus, I've had a few hot takes on here, too. So.
Well, because that's humans and music.
Yeah,
There's no telling where it's going to go. Like, I should be very happy that they did Evil Woman.
And you're
and
all
it sounds
sour.
awesome. Simon's voice is so sweet on that.
You're sour.
And they're taking on Jeff Lynne. Who, you know, there's some artists that you should never attempt. Whitney Houston. You're never going to get close to that. Jeff Lynne is one. He is a musical genius, and it is tough. And Simon did it.
Yeah.
His voice is beautiful.
That was really good. I kind of want to listen to it again. I haven't listened to it today.
Well, I don't
Every
get
day.
Copyright.
Let's talk here. This is for a new. It's not Stamp. It's Samp.
Samp?
Samp.
Like sample?
Well, I'm just telling you. I'm trying to figure out what to call him for short. Some people have been calling him 77 because there's a 77 in there.
77.
How about 77?
How about 77 and the Ragged Tiger?
There you go.
What do you think?
That's not very short, but
It isn't, but oh, it's beautiful.
Before we talk about Medazzaland, I want to tell something about the previous album, Thank You. Neil Young's cover, Heart of Gold, is one of my unreleased Duran songs.
Is he saying Duran has done a Heart of Gold version?
One of my unreleased Duran songs. Well, I don't know yet. We need more information. Ron says Dance Macabre Deluxe hit number 10 after a few hours on the iTunes album.
Uh-huh.
Tom Baker, my favorite of the reunion albums is All You Need Is Now album.
Reunion albums? Oh, well, I guess they're counting... When I think of the reunion, I think of Astronaut.
All you need is now.
And after Astronaut, there was no reunion.
77 says my best unreleased songs, I want to say.
Oh, I had a pile of thank you demos, and I've even got demos for Medazzaland. I don't know where they are, but I don't remember hearing Heart of Gold. That sounds like that would be really good.
Tom Baker says, I mean, since they reunited.
Oh, so you're talking about the yeah, I guess you could call that the new era.
I like All You Need Is Now. That was also one that I think I was dialed in on when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I guess they're saying you've got Andy Taylor, Roger Taylor leave in 86.
Mm-hmm.
So Notorious is chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go all the way to Astronaut, which is chapter 3, the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
But you lose Andy during Astronaut or in the middle of the tour or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
But well, when we get into Medazzaland, I'll give you my thoughts on what's going on with them. But we just have to say the deluxe, the CD is not out yet, or that deluxe record set.
But is it on YouTube Music? Can I listen to the deluxe version?
You can hear the deluxe version, yeah.
Let me investigate. I'm on YouTube Music for the list, so let me just...
See if there's an instrumental of dance.
Because they did not have Evil Woman yet.
Oh, no, it's there.
No, on YouTube Music.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I had to listen to it on YouTube, and it was kind of annoying, just because it's...
I did not know that.
I'm just letting you know, they lag a little bit when it comes
bought it, so...
Oh, blah. So, Duran Deluxe
That's
edition.
the problem with depending on streaming services,
What?
at their mercy.
It's YouTube Music. It's not... It's on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How do you spell macabre?
Got me.
Macabre.
It's over there on the wall somewhere.
Dance Macabre.
It's
Whoops.
like Dance Macabre.
Well, no, it's Macabre.
Macabre.
Well, I mean how it's spelled.
All right, take it easy.
Whoa. Keep talking. I'm working on something.
So I don't know if there's not much more to say about Evil Woman. I think
Mask of the Pink Death?
yes, that's the new instrumental.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. Plus, I don't like instrumentals. So.
I like their instrumentals.
I don't.
They're they're always Nick heavy, and I
Mm-hmm.
like his stuff. So
It's
is there an instrumental of Dance Macabre in there?
not showing me the deluxe one yet. I'm just telling you what popped up when I looked up.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yes, it is 3 phases, Tom Baker says.
So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say 3 phases, I guess.
I think deluxe will not be in so many copies, so the most sites they have only CDs pre-order and not the LP.
Right, and it was the same with Dance last year. It was actually kind of hard to get a hold of that CD if you didn't pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got right on it this time.
And on YouTube, the video hit 170K, getting good reviews. Since the astronaut... Oh, Tom Baker retracted his message when I'm in the middle of me talking about it.
Since we're talking about... but that thought just lifted right out of my head when you said that.
I'm sorry.
You derailed me. Probably wasn't important.
Well, I'm trying to get the fans involved, you know?
But I mean, I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, Tom Baker says autocorrect changed some of his words, so he had to retract the message real quick.
No, we don't edit here.
Words. All right, are we going to start talking about Medazzaland
So let's
now?
talk about Medazzaland. And this era sees some big changes. And
Hip-hop.
I think this is when I think of these albums, I think of Duran Depressed.
Medazzaland released October 14th, 1997. Excuse me. Okay.
So that's what I think. I think this is the Depression album.
Well, you'll be very interested to know one of my notes on one of these songs.
Here it is.
Woo.
Medazzaland.
Medazzaland. That's reissued, yeah.
Yeah, this is a reissue.
I forgot this was a reissue.
I think the records are pink in here.
Ooh.
What do I know?
Is that the Rio girl that they put graffiti on?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Isn't it?
I think that is fun.
I think it must have been... I think I heard the story. This is somewhere, and they took a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody did that? What do I know? Anyway.
You know stuff sometimes.
That's nice.
You're not supposed to show the singles until
I'm not going to.
we get there.
I'm going to show the original Medazzaland that I picked up on day 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the CD I purchased on Sunset Boulevard in the Tower Records, and they were supposed to give me was it $1 off or $3 off?
I don't like this story. I've already heard it like 3 times.
And the manager said, no, you're going to get to see the concert. You're not getting $3 off or $1, whatever it was. So guess what I did?
You talked to the manager.
I called Capitol Records. And I said, I bought the single. There is a coupon in here. And he will not honor that coupon. That's what I told him.
You have already told this story.
Well, I'm telling it because now it's appropriate.
Okay.
The guy called me back.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, that's what the guy said. He said, you get a concert, you're not getting the $3 off. And basically telling me to go kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had a discussion on the phone about Electric Barbarilla and that video.
Mm-hmm.
And I had mentioned, how are they going to show that on TV?
Mm-hmm.
And he agreed.
Yeah.
He said he didn't know either.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got my $3 off, but I did get absolutely a $3 worth concert in the parking lot of Sunset Tower Records.
77 says, when I heard Medazzaland for the first time, I thought that was the worst Duran album at the time, but now it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely of its time, which a lot of them are.
Tom Baker says, their energy was gone because of the Thank You album.
I don't know what was going on during the Thank You album.
Beat After Beat says the intro is Nick's brother talking, I believe.
I thought it was Nick.
Beat After Beat.
Nick's brother? I might want to check that one. Nick doesn't have a brother.
Oh, okay. Well.
He's an only child, and so is John.
That's
why they became friends.
Ron says, I've been listening to the album today. It's brilliant, awesome, amazing, much, much, much better than Thank You.
Yeah, I had to re-listen to it today, too. Even though I know this stuff, I put on some headphones and I listened because I wanted to hear everything. And it's better than I remember it.
Yeah.
But then there are some songs on there I still just not connecting with me. But again, other than the Electric Barbarella single, I find this album a bit depressing.
Tom Baker says Electric Barbarella was never played on the radio. No album was found in Belgian stores.
That stinks. Wait a minute. I've got some more stuff to tell about that when we get there. Maybe I could tell it now. So this is Duran Duran's last record on Capitol Records. The guy I called was Capitol Records. Capitol Records is a prestigious label. Beatles, ... whatever. Capitol had it at this point. They did not like this record. It didn't do well, so they dropped them. That's big news.
Pause for silence.
You want some bigger news?
What's some bigger news?
In the middle of recording this album, John said, guess what? See you later.
Well, there you go.
He's a founding member.
Yeah.
John Taylor, Nick Rhodes. Now John Taylor is gone. He leaves. I was going to show this too. This is a tribute album.
And they confirmed it is Nick at the beginning.
Yeah. I had to think about that for a minute. I know very little, and I know Nick doesn't have a brother.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Anyway, the point of me showing you this tribute album, even though I don't really care about tribute albums.
Beat After Beat says I had that.
Yeah.
There you go.
The concert that they played in the parking lot had a bunch of these tribute bands opening up for them. Then they came out and did about 30 minutes. But they did Electric Barbarella, Big Bang Generation. I can't remember what else. I remember they finished with Hungry Like the Wolf.
Was that another single, Big Bang Generation?
Oh, I think it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
If anything had happened.
I got you. Here in Europe, Medazzaland didn't release, so I had a cassette copy from my friend. So I made the order from Japan, and I was one of the few men that had the original at the time. That was 77 telling.
Absolutely true. Did not release. I think the only place it released was United States. Capitol Records was not happy with that, even though their label is EMI in England. So maybe EMI just said no. I'm not sure how those arrangements work. But they were so disgruntled about this that they tried to buy the masters back. And maybe they did, for all I know. Because the next thing I remember is they went to England, and their tour was called Latest and Greatest, which was essentially the Medazzaland tour for Europe. And they had put out a greatest hits package. I think the Capitol wanted to cash in one last little bit. Probably should have showed that. It's talk about phoning in the artwork. It's all white. It's a blue translucent greatest, and then it's pictures of them in the Rio video. And then they threw on every song they could get. Some of the songs are edited to fit on the disc. I feel Decade is a much better greatest hits package than Greatest, but
USA and Canada only.
Ooh, Canada
so
got
Canada
it.
got
Those
it.
Canadians are very sneaky. They're always getting the records.
Yeah, Ron got the USA import.
That's what you would do, right? Is it the same way over there as it would be here, where you have a certain record store and you go in and say, I want Medazzaland, and you import it, or do they already have them there? That's what I used to have to do with some of the, like, Careless Memories you couldn't find anywhere in a regular record store. But you go to Best Records, they had them all.
Oh, look at you.
They're nice.
Well, I'll tell you when I get an answer.
And I'll show this just for S&Gs. Instead of sticking with the band, John did this, called Feelings Are Good.
Edgy. Is it good?
It's an album.
Okay.
I've never been a big fan of John Taylor's voice.
Ron had to order it online.
Order online. You could order that online back then?
No, I had to
guess
order
there was
online.
online back then.
Yeah. Beat After Beat had that, what you're holding in your hands.
Oh, John Taylor?
Yep.
Feelings are good. Feelings are good. Feelings are good.
I think that the problem with the Medazzaland is the production of the record. If it has the last 2 to 3 albums production would have been better.
I mean, I think this period, one of the songs on this album is a direct diss to Warren, to his face.
Great.
You've got Simon, Warren, and Nick now. Warren has taken over the who do you call it? The guy who's in charge of writing the songs.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word. Whatever it is. Apparently these two are not getting along. Simon seems very depressed to me during this time period. This is also when his writing block is starting to seep in. That's an issue. We can talk about Medazzaland. Should we talk about?
Can we actually talk about Medazzaland?
Well, there's some work we need to do. I should probably mention also John Taylor had a hit single in the 80s called "I Do What I Do." It was for the film 9.5 Weeks, and it was a pretty good song.
I don't think I've heard it.
Yeah. I do what I do to have you, have you.
You should have told me. I want to listen to it.
What do you think?
Perfect.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's back in the 80s. I probably should have mentioned it back then, but that's John Taylor's probably why he went out and decided, I'm going to go do my own thing. I've heard a version of one of the songs on here, Buried in the Sand, with John singing it. So must have been a demo or something like that.
77 says, I Do What I Do is an amazing song. Beat After Beat says the video is cool too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. John Taylor sitting in a movie theater watching the movie, and then you see clips of the film.
I got you.
Listen, 9.5 Weeks was a big deal back then. It was a little racy, a little crazy, and people were excited.
Well, there you go.
I think, did that one also have Slave to Love?
Got it on
Ferry song?
Got it on 7-inch vinyl, Ron says.
I've got the CD around here somewhere of that.
You're not gonna have it now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have it now. I wasn't gonna really talk about it, but if John is going off and leaving the band in the middle of...
Why do we have to have this here?
I was gonna put Medazzaland up there. Where do you want it?
You keep hitting it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably hit it again. What do you think? Can you put that on there so it doesn't fall?
No. Remember you had to have it up here?
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Whoa.
You gotta actually keep it on, though.
It's not getting its sea legs yet.
I also have the 12-inch vinyl of I Do What I Do, 77.
Is that a remix? I don't know if I've ever heard an extended version of that.
Ron says John Taylor looked good then. Tom Baker says I don't understand why they didn't continue the success of the Wedding album, Wrong Choices.
Well, that's funny because Warren at this time is complaining during the promotion of this record, saying Duran's problem is they never capitalize on momentum. Huge slingshot of momentum for the Wedding album. Thank you. I mean, I don't know. Do you have a career-defining... Bands getting a second chance in the music business are very few. You go up the ladder if you're lucky, and then you go down the ladder, and rarely do you ever come back. Rolling Stones, like even the Beatles broke up and never returned. Who else am I thinking of? U2 sort of, but they're not really putting anything out. They're all kind of just hanging out. And I saw them in Vegas not too long ago. I didn't go to Vegas. I was watching them on TV.
Beat After Beat's uncomfortable with me not wearing my glasses. Just so
you
you know, Beat After Beat, they're very filthy.
And I can't... What other bands are still around? I don't know. I can't think of many. So for them to actually go right back up the top of the charts and keep it moving was a big deal. They decided to do a covers album, and probably not... You can see what they do with covers on this album, and Thank You. I'm talking about the new dance album. You can see they're way better at it. And throughout their career, they do some more covers coming up, and they're doing a way better job.
It was all there for them to take in 1993.
It's impossible to describe how big Ordinary World was. It was in the supermarket when you're shopping. It was everywhere.
I like that song.
Everywhere, 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 everywhere. And You want to call it a comeback or not? People don't like to say comeback. We never left, but it got everybody started paying attention again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Thank You, and everybody stopped listening.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to this. There were obviously problems because John Taylor quits in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was Be My Icon I heard with him singing it.
Mm-hmm.
One of those. And he goes off and does his solo stuff. He did some other weird stuff, Neurotic Outsiders,
Mm-hmm.
with pieces of other bands.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it. I can't remember. So now you're down to the three, and two of the main guys apparently are having some problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you diss somebody to their face, imagine we made a record and I'm talking about what a turd you are.
Yeah.
Right to your face on the record and sending
Mm-hmm.
that out. I don't
Not
know.
good.
Doesn't sound too good, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to talk about Medazzaland?
Yeah. What is it? 30 minutes in?
Whee!
I'm finally ready
well,
to
listen,
talk
I had
about
technical difficulties.
Medazzaland. That was only a few minutes.
And you know what? By the next time I have to do that, I'll forgotten. But we must talk about, even though we usually go in order,
Mm-hmm.
we must talk about Out of My Mind. Why do we have to do that?
3, 4. I'm just gonna pull up my notes here. Okay.
The reason we have to talk about Out of My Mind first is this is like, Is There Something I Should Know? It's really in between albums. It came out way before Medazzaland. It was made for the movie The Saint. I should have pulled that down. I was thinking about it, didn't get to it. The movie The Saint.
Mm-hmm.
This single actually did pretty well. Because I remember people calling on the radio constantly saying, we want to hear Duran Duran. And the DJs were going, stop calling in for Duran Duran. We got it. We're going to play it.
Yeah.
You see that?
I had that soundtrack. It reminds me of a Depeche Mode song.
To get you out. That's funny because I was listening to Medazzaland today, and there is definitely one that I was listening to, and I was thinking Depeche Mode.
Maybe it was that one.
No, it wasn't this one.
Maybe you should start writing down notes.
One of the other ones. When we get to it, I'll mention it. I think this is another one.
Which is funny because I didn't really like it.
Out of my mind, I can't escape from the feeling.
I said not my jam, not my style.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ron says, brilliant video, wow, wow, wow. I've got different remixes of this single, UK, Japan, and America.
So what was nice about the video was, 1989, Simon has long, in excess hair.
Mm-hmm. He's cool.
He comes out of the Big Thing era with a butch cut for Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the wedding album, he's got sort of this almost like old lady hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know how old ladies they have it really short, sort of, but they're trying to maybe a little bit longer, but really don't want to work with the hair because they're tired and worn out.
Mm-hmm.
And his hair sort of stayed in that period for quite a while. But on this video, he decided to comb his hair instead of the spiky stuff. And he looked back to his old self with the hair.
Ooh, fancy.
But then he went right back to the old lady hair.
I was surprised about Out of My Mind because back in 1997, 98, when I was going here in the Greece in rock bars and rock clubs, all they play this song. I didn't believe it. It has success, this song. And Tom Baker says the song is a bit over dramatic.
Well, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking when he wrote this. If he wrote it specifically for the film, if he was watching the sort of work print of the film when he's writing the song. But you're right. It doesn't match anything on this record, really.
And I didn't really like it.
Yeah?
I said it was fun in some parts, but for the most part, it wasn't my thing. But I get it. I can get somebody else liking it. I didn't.
What about that?
I said there was some fun stuff. Once again, you're not going to make me say it's my favorite.
Well, it's not my favorite either.
Yeah, well.
So I won't make you say it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's talk about Medazzaland.
Didn't like it.
Well, pretty weird, right?
Yeah.
Especially I've turned that on, it was Nick Rhodes. I'm like, he doesn't sing.
I said, oh, what? Not Duran Duran at all. I like the lyrics, so it's a little fun, but not as a whole song.
So I don't know if Simon wrote this. I do know the story is that Simon had a bad tooth.
Uh-huh.
He went to the dentist. He returned to them in the studio, which I think is still at Warren's house at this point, and said something. They said, "What's wrong with you?" And he said something like, "Well, they gave me Medazzaland." And I don't know what medication is close to the word Medazzaland, but
They just roll with it.
there it is. More. If you listen to the, I don't think I should be calling it a song, but you hear sort of somebody sitting in a dentist chair.
I was like,
It's definitely
there's a story.
Hey, I went to the dentist. Here's a song about it. And then why Nick decided to speak worded, I have no idea.
Sounds like a B-side, Tom Baker says.
I don't even know if it was a B-side.
Beat After Beat says Electric was my fave on this album. Well.
Yeah.
Come on. Ron says, love it. Nick's keyboards are fantastic. Nick wrote it.
Nick wrote the words?
Yeah, apparently.
How do you like that?
Oh.
This was I think I just mentioned that. This was the start where he's having lyric issues. Writer's block.
You said that.
Yeah. Anybody who's ever had writer's block, you understand. You cannot force it. So I understand. This is also the time that Nick and Warren are in the studio by themselves for periods of time and are starting to do all these little snippets and samples and sort of creating music, putting all of this stuff together, which eventually became TV Mania. That project, Bored with the Internet and Prozac or something like that, which is a bunch of, again, songs that are snippets and samples and stuff. So this was sort of the precursor to that.
I love the sound. It's like a soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a song about fixing your tooth.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say about that.
I didn't know the story behind it.
So. I believe that's the story. I don't have firsthand knowledge.
It is okay. I'll give it that.
I think probably why people would ever talk about it again is number one, it's the title track, and number two, Nick. This is the only time you hear his voice.
Yes, I saw an interview years ago and Nick did it. I think he did something different. There you go.
I know that he has written the one song that I remember that he wrote is it was on All You Need Is Now. Girl Panic.
I like that song.
Girl Panic was originally a environmentalist song. And the song was Big Blue Planet.
Oh.
And Nick goes, no, we're not doing that. And he rewrote it into a Girl Panic.
Yeah.
How he got Simon to agree to that, I don't know.
Yep.
But that's for another day to discuss. Who's next?
Big Bang Generation.
Big Bang Generation. I know this was going to be a single because it's got that vibe, and they played this in the parking lot, which means they were trying to juice us to buy the record. And I absolutely think this was going to be a single.
I love Nick Rhodes. He's my favorite member of Duran Duran. What he does with this band.
I find him to be the most interesting member of the band. But you can't. I've heard them when they separate, and the common denominator seems to be you must have Simon Le Bon and you must have Nick Rhodes. Anytime that is out of alignment, you don't have Duran Duran, and it doesn't work. Probably John Taylor kind of gooses that a little bit too, but you can't. Those two guys have to be. They have some kind of meeting of the minds that elevates each other. So. To me, that's Duran Duran.
For this song, this is way more on brand. Those weird instruments and noises are weird, but way better. Simon, great singing, really enjoyed.
And
those were my notes.
This is the era. See, you're not going to get Pop Trash is sort of that same vein too. That's coming up next. All these '90s samplers and mixing. There were a lot of bands that were making a lot of money off. They would go on stage with their keyboard and go, and that would be a sample. And this would be a noise. I'm thinking of Firestarter when they did that. You ever heard that song?
Mm,
I'm a fire starter. Twisted fire starter.
I think I have.
Boop, boop.
I think I've heard that.
So this was that era.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the back half of the 90s.
Miss Carpenter says, yes, exactly, Thomas.
Exciting young Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Well, they call you Thomas to separate you from Tom Baker. It has a great climax.
Big Bang Generation?
Mm-hmm.
In the Big Bang Generation. Doesn't it just fade out?
Mm. Well, climax is not the ending, young man.
Oh.
A climax is... I think he's referring to, like, the bridge
Where
or something.
you coming from? When we gonna burn out? Don't know. Maybe they're talking about that part.
Maybe. Oh my god, my favorite. I heard it live. They played it when I went to see and it's fantastic on the album. The Ultra Chrome Latex and Steel tour they played live in Florida Disneyland.
Right. So it was Ultra Chrome Latex and Steel in America, and it was latest and greatest in England.
And Beat After Beat says Thomas English muffins.
Yes.
So I think that's
I have actually
your
eaten
name.
one of those.
Yeah. I think that's your new name.
Let's be honest. Those really are the best English muffins at the store.
Yeah.
The Great Value muffins, they're not cutting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ridges in Thomas's English muffins.
Yeah. Well, now you get a new name.
Works.
Thomas English muffins.
So Big Bang Generation,
I really like it.
I think he's talking about...
That's why I thought it was going to be a single. That's why I asked you, is that one was supposed to be a single?
I think it was.
It was supposed to be.
Before they got dropped.
Yep.
I think he's talking about his generation and all the sort of music explosion that happened. Because if you look at, I look at sort of 78 to 86.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the charts and the music, even not the charts, music, alternative and stuff like that, it was an amazing time for music. I mean, some of the best songs ever written were written in this period. And I mean, even today, everybody, it used to be different. If there was a song like that, and there were so many of them, like if it was on MTV, if it was on the radio, everybody knew the song. Even your grandpappy.
Yeah, well, that's true for us, too. We listen to that one radio station. We know all the songs.
Yeah, but they played the same 5.
Yeah.
Now imagine 500.
Yeah.
And everybody knew them. And everybody would be singing. Grandpappy would be going, like a virgin, hey.
Tom Baker says, and now it's the smartphone generation.
Yeah. That is a little bit of a shame. Did anybody out there see Beetlejuice?
I did.
Best scene in the movie. He's getting married. He's in the chapel. All the influencers are taping him on the phone. He turns their phones around and he makes the phones suck them all in, and then they disappear.
Yeah.
There's his commentary
Oh,
on
so
the cell phone generation.
You watched it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You kidding?
I didn't know you were a big Beetlejuice guy.
I'm not a big Beetlejuice. You want to hear my Beetlejuice story?
What's your Beetlejuice story? I'm sorry, we're getting a little off topic.
This is what happens when you get off topic. You get
Yeah.
another story from me.
Yep.
I worked at Pacific movie theaters during that time period. That was in Lakewood, California. And they picked me and a few others to dress up and go to the local swap meets and pass out coupons for our theater to get you to come see Beetlejuice.
Okay.
So I'm walking around a swap meet. I don't remember if I was in a ghost outfit or what. I can't remember. It was pretty lame ass is what it was. But yeah, that's what you had to do. We walked around and said, please go see Beetlejuice. Please go see Beetlejuice. And guess what? They all came, and that the auditorium over there, I don't know if anybody's been to the Pacific Theater. It's got to seat 1,000 people. It is. It's an auditorium size. It's huge, and it even had like curtains, and the curtains would open. Da, 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 da. Big deal. Throwback. You don't see movie theaters like that because the stadium style seating sort of took over after this time. But it's like a grand old theater experience. There's my Beetlejuice story.
Great. So you had to watch the sequel?
Well, I mean, the movie it's an interesting movie.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love Beetlejuice.
You want to hear a hot take? I
What?
think I enjoyed this one more than the original.
No.
I think I did.
I think the second one had the same energy as the first one. It made it really good, but I don't think you can say it's better than the first one.
Welcome to our Medazzaland Beetlejuice review.
Sorry. Well, you got me on that. Because literally, you know what we did?
What?
It was a last-second decision to go see Beetlejuice 2 in theaters that night.
Huh?
So we watched Beetlejuice 1, and then went right into Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, so you mainlined Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I basically had like a whole viewing experience, and so I think it did a really good job. But nothing is going to beat the original.
I probably should have done that because I was watching it, and Lydia was able to return herself from Beetlejuice Land.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does she know how to do that? But apparently she learned that in the first movie. I just forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was interesting. Anyway, do you have any other thoughts on Big Bang Generation?
I really like this song.
Yep.
It was a good song.
Pretty
yeah.
good.
All of our Duran people are hating it over here.
Well, come on. What a great riff.
Oh, no, not the song. I'm talking about us going and talking about Beetlejuice.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Electric Barbarella is next.
Electric Barbarella.
Barbarella.
My understanding is this is the last track they wrote for this album. Again,
And it's the best one.
And it is by far the best, I think, on this record.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll change my mind by the time we get to the end, but this is a banger.
Yep.
I love this tune, and if you look at our list on the YouTube thing so you can listen to all the songs, I included the extended mix. Why did I do that?
I didn't like it.
Because they take the vocal effects off Simon's voice and you get to hear him sing it.
I wasn't hearing him sing. Are you sure you had me put the right one down?
Yes.
Okay, and then...
He's got some effect. They always some effect, but that sort of canned unpleasantness that it's robbing his voice of his beauty. That's why I put that on there.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the extended one. I like Electric Barbarella.
Okay,
don't. 77 says, you didn't say anything about Out of My Mind. That was the third and last song that Simon wrote for his friends that passed away.
Oh, so Out of My Mind. So
that's next.
So he didn't write it for... Well, we started with Out of My Mind.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because it was before this album came out. But Out of My Mind, yeah, we did talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like reviews are mixed on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea he wrote it for his friend. I thought he wrote it for the movie. So he wrote it for his friend and then gave it to the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
And by the way, in that movie, not the best movie, that song doesn't play an important role at the end. Mm-hmm. The movie's over, the credits start, and they throw that song on top of it.
Okay.
The laziest way to do it.
Yeah, well.
So I didn't like the way they did that.
Do you bell? B-E-L?
I bell. Long time no tweet.
Does that mean anything to you?
No.
Oh, I don't know either.
It's long time no tweet.
And it's in all caps, so it must be important.
Do you bell?
Do you bell?
I don't know.
It was the first ever... do you believe the first Ordinary, the second, and Out of My Mind, the third?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about his friend who died, and he wrote 3 songs for him. Mm-hmm. And the 3 songs were Do You Believe in Shame? Mm-hmm. Ordinary World, and Out of My Mind is the third leg of that. Mm-hmm. So it was I think he mentioned it as shock, sort of trying to cope, and then acceptance.
Oh, okay. So it's like a trilogy song.
Right.
Songs.
And for all I know, he'll write more.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to... When an artist gets something in their head, it's going to come out. But Electric Barbarella, what did you think of that?
Ron Farney, I think this was talking about Electric Barbarella. I got a little off track. Mm-hmm. It was the first ever download Nick Rhodes Press the Button.
Absolutely true. During this time, people were stealing songs off the internet. Mm-hmm. And Nick said, don't fight new technology, embrace it. And Electric Barbarella is the first ever legally downloaded song. Mm-hmm. Again, Duran Duran is ahead of the curve in technology.
Wow.
And I might want to also mention... This is also the promotional tour and tour where Nick had a laptop in his keyboard setup, and he had a virtual theremin.
To go. Woo.
So when he, you know that part where he goes, he's going like this.
Ooh, cool.
On his laptop, because it's got a little sensor on it, and he's controlling a theremin-like device.
Well, there you go.
Again, ahead of technology. Now, that didn't make it to Pop Trash, so I guess he didn't like it.
Ron Farney says, I know my stuff.
I'm not going to question that. But Here it is.
Electric
Electric Barbarella.
I pull
There
you
she
in.
is.
Electric Barbarella. I love the things we don't know. Your inside information, Tom Baker's saying to Ron.
Yeah. He's got it all.
You got it all.
I just have dumb stories, but he knows what's going on. There's that there. I think that's the only single. You want to hear my Electric Barbarella story? Of course you do. This came out before the album. I got over there to Tower Records the first day. I'm standing outside. There's all these people. And I'm like, is this really? People are excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is great news.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking and there's a lot of old ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's no way old ladies are into Electric Barbarella. It's a little too risque, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out that the beautiful Princess Diana had died.
Oh.
Elton John took one of his songs and reworked it as a tribute to her.
Mm-hmm.
And the single came out that day.
Oh, so people weren't actually excited for Electric
They were all
Barbarella.
buying Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, England's Rose. I don't remember what they called the song, but it was the Marilyn Monroe song.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, Norma Jean, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For Diana. When it was finally my turn to get up to the line, I go, where is Electric Barbarella? He goes, we're selling so many of these, we didn't even open the box.
Huh.
So I had to go pester this guy to go in the back and get it, and I
Mhm.
got it. So, Nick Rhodes, this is what I'm doing. I'm going and making the workers get the CD on day one, so it was a benefit. You
Ooh,
understand, sir?
77 has some thoughts.
What did you got?
Electric Barbarella is okay for me, but I think has better songs from Medazzaland. Big Bang, Be My Icon, and Midnight Sun. I agree with Out of My Mind as a single. I didn't agree with Electric.
Really?
Whoa.
Well,
That's a thought.
what do we say?
Music.
No quantifying musical taste.
Yeah. Ron says, got it, and pink white labels, 12-inch versions, Electric Barbarella. What do you got?
I don't know if mine's pink. Mine's red.
Yours is not pink.
And it's got Sinner or Saint on it. And this thing actually, now this was weird when I was looking at this the other day. This actually has the Electric Barbarella video on the CD.
Yeah, you told me that.
Well, how crazy is that, bro?
And I saw the video. You had me watch it.
Well, you have to watch that one, right?
It's obvious the singles were going to flop.
I don't know if Electric Barbarella flopped. That video probably it's got to be in the top 10 of their videos. That is a fantastic video.
Yeah.
I love it when they do little stories like that.
Oh, you got the poster from the garage?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
I thought I wasn't going to do it, but then I thought, you know what? People probably want to see it. There she is.
We've had her in the
Electric
garage.
Barbarella.
Now go up.
Ooh. Look, she's flying up into the Big Bang generation. Entering the atmosphere. Like that.
Great.
What time is lunch?
Is she single? Beat After Beat asks.
You want to know something about her? She did this and some modeling to pay her way through school. And she's some kind of scientist now.
Oh, okay.
So she's not just a pretty face.
Well, how do you like that? She's a scientist
Look at
and
that.
she's the face of Electric Barbarella.
When I picked this up, it got wet. The damn mailman.
Good work.
So you see the bottom got a little screwy there.
A video is not a chart success, Tom Baker says.
I know, but it's still... Come on, they're all wearing suits. They got an electric doll. She goes crazy in the bar.
Barbarella, I pulled you in.
It's not going to get any better than that, I'm afraid. So, Electric Barbarella. Who's next?
We saw Out of My Mind. Who do you think you are?
Who do you think
Please don't sing.
you are?
Who you
Don't want to be
think?
your enemy.
Here in Greece, the radios play Out of My Mind every day. Electric Barbarella didn't get played ever.
That's crazy. Is that because it wasn't released? Who was saying that?
77.
Where
In
are you,
Europe.
77? You're in Europe.
You just said Europe.
Well, you guys got overlooked, right? Blame EMI, blame capital.
Ron says, this wasn't in the UK. I'm bloody jealous. I want it.
That poster?
Maybe.
I think that was an advertisement. It was probably
Possibly.
hanging in a record store.
Tom Baker says, I'm not into 60s style. I think we're talking about this song now. Yeah.
Oh, who do you think you are?
Who do you think?
Please don't sing.
Please don't. I was trying to do an impression of you singing.
Who do you think you are is one of the biggest disses on a band member. This song is sung to Warren. Warren, if you didn't know, and I know it, and probably other people know it, is an American. The other guys are English.
Yeah.
English, more reserved, more proper, for the most part. Americans are often seen as brash, loudmouth.
I told you I did a whole lesson on that.
Americans seem to be the garbage of the planet. And the apex of the garbage heap is New York. Then you go into the boroughs, and I think here's Brooklyn. Can't remember. But so you get that Brooklyn attitude. Just like Trump is from Brooklyn. Every now and then he gets into that. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. He gets that sort of brash, a Brooklyn accent like that. So if we're sitting here and you're proper and prim and you're Simon Le Bon, who, let's face it, is no longer a real person, because at a very young age he became world famous, and there isn't anywhere he goes where people aren't trying to get his picture, give him a kiss, whatever it is. He can't go anywhere. Period. End report. He's no longer a normal person because your brain goes, wait, what? I'm the best thing that there ever was. And then here's this American with a big mouth, and he's constantly teasing you and saying stuff that's... I remember they went on, if anybody remembers Rosie O'Donnell, do you know who that is?
Yes.
Big loudmouth.
I know who Rosie O'Donnell is.
She had a TV show. They went on to sing Electric Barbarella, and as they're sitting and doing their chat, they were showing pictures of past concerts. And she pulled up a picture of Simon in the Big Thing era, and he had this big bright yellow jacket with like these leaves and shit coming off the sides. And Nick goes, oh, I remember that. I threw that out the hotel window. I hated that jacket. Simon turns around and he's pissed and a little hurt. And he goes, do you have any idea how disrespectful that is? Right there on the TV show.
Why?
Well, he took his jacket and threw it out the window.
Oh. See, I'm American, so I think that's fine.
Well, he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Nick did it because he didn't like it. And listen, Nick is the fashion man. All right. So the jacket offended him. It goes out the window. And then right there on TV, you get this little... So I'm wondering if the dynamic between Nick and Warren, and they're always... Those two guys are together all the time because they're working on this stuff. And they're doing the Prozac Nation thing or whatever that's called. And I'm thinking maybe he thought Nick was sort of getting poisoned by Warren with that brash attitude. So that's what Who Do You Think You Are is about. Nick, as far as I know, never got a diss record. But Nick's like a brother, right? They've been together through the whole ride.
Yeah.
Warren's still sort of the new guy. How dare you disrespect me? What did you think of the song?
Who Do You Think You Are? When I heard Medazzaland for the first time, I didn't like it. It was the only one I said, okay, this is Duran Duran. That's what 77 says. Ron says, do you know why they got rid of Warren after Pop Trash?
Good question. And I can tell you from my understanding, Warren was dismissed because after the Pop Trash tour, Simon Le Bon had it. He said, I don't like writing these songs anymore. I'm not happy anymore. I don't want to be in Duran Duran anymore. I'm not interested in going forward. And John Taylor now at that point was going, hey, okay, I've done all of this stuff. I'm ready to return. My understanding is he calls Nick and he says, well, what about a reunion? Let's get all the guys back together. This excites Simon Le Bon. And the rest is history.
Yep.
Goodbye, Warren. But they still remain friendly with Warren. Here's the awkward part. So he is essentially fired,
Mhm.
but they still have a contracted 3 shows to do in Japan.
Mhm.
So they have to go do that.
Mhm.
They were professional. They came out there, did their set, apparently did a good job, and shook hands and said, "See you later.
There you go.
Goodbye, Warren."
One for
And
the
now
road.
Warren is on the new album, so
Warren was special and knew no shame. You know what I mean.
that's the American in him.
Beat After Beat says Rosie makes me ill.
Yeah.
Tom Baker says
you're not
we
kidding.
won't go into Warren's excesses.
Yeah, Warren. So here's the problem. I don't think he meant to be disrespectful.
Mhm.
Listen, I say a lot of weird stuff,
Mhm.
trying to be funny, but that's that sort of. You got to know with people,
Mhm.
right? Because people can get insulted.
Mhm.
Some people that can't take a joke
Mhm.
or that kind of brash kind of humor.
Mhm.
Warren gets fired. He actually goes into sort of a life spiral.
Mhm.
He was not in a good place for many, many years. He wanted to get his band back together, Missing Persons, but apparently Dale was really out to lunch at this point. So
Mhm.
that never really happened.
Mhm.
So he's been pretty silent all this time.
Mhm.
In fact, I'd barely heard of what he was up to up until the new album
Mhm.
was doing it. So here's your lesson.
Mhm.
If you got the golden goose in your band,
Mhm.
show some respect
Mhm.
because he's everything.
Yep.
You can be replaced.
Is it true also who do you think you are written for John that left the band at the time?
No, it's a diss on Warren.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with John. Simon Le Bon, Nick Rhodes especially because he grew up with John Taylor. Remember, before there was a Duran, there were these 2 guys who lived next together and spent all their time together.
Mhm.
Those guys are. You have a friend like that, they never go away. That's essentially they were brothers. So
Mhm.
John's got to go do his thing. Nothing personal he had to go. Nick Rhodes is never going to turn his back on John Taylor.
Mhm.
Simon Le Bon absolutely loves John Taylor and was happy to get him back.
Mhm.
So no diss on John. They love him like a brother.
This normally wouldn't be my style, but Simon's singing is really good. Reminds me of old emo bands.
So you got Simon's passionate about it,
Mhm.
right? He's got to get something off his chest. I mean, you can listen to the entire song and it's the whole story.
Mhm.
It's all right there. And if you're interested in the song and you're singing, wonderful job he does on that. Music is a little weird, but whatever.
I liked it. I said reminds me of old emo bands.
Yeah. I'm not sure what an emo band is. What's an emo band?
We'll have to talk later.
The comedian emo?
No, it's a type of music.
Okay. Lay it on me. What's one song?
Panic at the Disco.
Oh, I don't know
Back in the
that.
day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
But what, 10 years ago?
Oh yeah.
When was Panic in the Disco doing music?
For a very long time.
Really?
Yeah, since like 2000s.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Shows what I know.
Yeah.
So emo band, huh? So the Duran started the emo.
Yeah, because you said this was his depressed album, and that's what emo music is.
This is what I believed. I do not have firsthand information. I don't know if they've ever said this to me. This is the Depression era. This album, I think to some extent, Thank You and certainly Pop Trash,
Mhm.
all in a big bulldog depression ball.
Mhm.
When it comes to the music, I don't know if they're personally depressed or whatever it was, but to me it comes through the music.
I'm letting you know, that's what an emo band is. They're usually talking about life sucks, man. It's stuff like that.
Sounds like great music.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
And there's some depressing songs that we have to get to. So who's next?
6 is Silver Halo. Silva Halo.
Silva Halo.
No thank you to weird little singing.
Very weird, right?
Yep.
I mean, this is, even for me, I'm like, I do sort of like, anytime he's singing, it's I'm going to listen.
Mhm. I said little singing.
That sort of, I don't think this song works.
Also, you must listening Warren's Out of My Mind release that he made. Amazing cover.
Warren did a cover of Out of My Mind?
That's what 77 is saying.
I will absolutely listen to that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a big Warren fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think Warren was the vampire juice to reanimate the corpse.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good guitar player, and such a good musician that I think, even though these aren't my favorite albums,
It is in his official site.
I don't even know he had a site.
Well, there you go.
I know he got into some nonsense.
With official video.
Oh, I got something to do today.
Yep.
I want to see that.
Yep.
So I was sad to see Warren go until.
Uh-oh.
And when was that point? I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you when the time comes.
Okay.
What song are we on? Silver Halo? Does anybody have anything to say about Silver Halo? I don't think anybody does.
I don't
right?
like it.
Yeah. I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just not.
I don't like it.
It doesn't grab me.
I don't like it.
And I have no idea what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in the chat has a feeling about it.
Sweetheart, you look shocked, and I was when it was in the newspapers.
We talk about Warren nonsense.
Maybe.
I will tell you, when you're talking about, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but it's sort of interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Electric Barbarella comes out. It gets dwarfed by Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it should. I mean, it has to.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. I couldn't even make a comparison of who would die and you would be. There might have been more drama around Diana's death than when the Queen
Which is wild.
passed, which is kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not in London. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seemed like in America, it was almost like one of our presidents died.
Mm-hmm.
That's how beloved Diana was.
Mm-hmm.
So huge. Sort of kills Electric Barbarella because everybody is singing England's Rose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did it at the funeral and everything.
Mm-hmm.
When they put this album out and they did that that thing they were singing in the parking lot that I went to,
Mm-hmm.
that was supposed to get some buzz and get on the news. And that night, John Denver died.
And the Muppets. Sorry,
He
that's where I know him from.
He was a guy who was into airplanes, and he flew like experimental shitty planes, and he crashed that day. And so then that became the headline all over there.
Mm-hmm.
John Denver, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't have anywhere near the impact of Diana, but
Yeah.
still,
Bad timing.
you have to respect John Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
So what's next after Silva Halo?
Be my icon.
And I built you a shrine. You can be my icon.
I really like the chorus. Pretty good rock. The melody ain't my fave, but they pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So this song does not connect with me at all.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's a little serial killer.
I like serial killers.
A little. There's some songs in here that are kind of fan bashing.
Mm-hmm.
This to me is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you love me so much, you're keeping my cigarette butts.
Mm-hmm.
You're building a shrine, memorabilia.
I think that's fun.
It's kind of a diss. Even though I'm not a guy who would be saving cigarette butts, but I mean, I sort of have a shrine. I have a micro shrine, right?
There you go.
I've got a Electric Barbarella poster.
Yeah.
I bought this, and I don't even.
It's not a diss.
Isn't that my favorite album?
It's I worship you.
Right, but it's sort of their reflection of fans that are too aggressive. You know, the ones that are hanging out inside the hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or, hey, can I get an autograph? Can I get a picture?
You can diss those people.
I don't think it's good to diss anyone unless they're becoming dangerous, but
They could be becoming dangerous.
certainly.
Yeah.
And certainly the way this song plays,
Could be dangerous.
it feels dangerous.
Yep. I
So-
liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat have anything to say about Be My Icon?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, I don't think this is a song that invokes much emotion.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us can't relate to it.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess we'll jump to the next one then.
Okay. Buried in the sand.
Buried in the sand.
Too slow, kind of weird. All right lyrics, but not something I like to jam to in the car.
Very sleepy, right?
Yeah, it's very...
This song kind of went, buried in the sand. What? I don't know what the song's about.
Ron says love it.
Buried in the sand?
Yeah.
That's why it's on the album, right?
Yeah.
You got to have an album that hits everybody the right way.
Yep.
Got to be something in there for you.
Oh, this is about John Taylor, the song.
Is it? Because I think that was the one he was singing. What does it mean?
I don't know. This is Ron. Ron knows more than we do.
So what is the
Tom Baker says one of my fave.
what is the message I'm supposed to get from these lyrics about John Taylor?
Well, why don't you wait and find out?
I would like to know. I didn't know that.
77 said it's okay.
Yeah.
So more,
Yeah, I mean,
more on my level.
am I glad it exists rather than it not existing? Sure. But this might be one I would skip on the record.
Uh-oh.
Might.
Uh-oh.
Said might.
Uh-oh.
M-I-G-H-T.
I'm not hearing anything yet. Maybe we don't know. I get the story. It's about losing reality.
So John's losing reality. It sort of seems like he had sort of a...
That's what Tom says. And Ron's the one who said it's about John Taylor. So we got...
I mean, certainly at this time, he has sort of a... Remember I said this is sort of the midlife crisis, depression time?
Yeah.
John Taylor, I guess, to me, at this time period, sort of a...
About drugs and alcohol and leaving the band,
and
Ron says.
Sort of a micro... what do they call it when you... Well, I had the word in my head and it just flipped away. Some people have a breakdown. What do they call that?
Midlife crisis?
Not a midlife crisis, like a more of a clinical term.
Emotional breakdown?
No, there's another term and I had it in my head and I can't think of it.
I don't got it for you.
Nervous breakdown is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
he had sort of a
the
mini
same.
nervous breakdown, I believe. If you watch his behavior in these next few years, certainly. So that's interesting. So he must not have been singing Buried in the Sand. He must have been singing Be My Icon that I heard.
There you go.
John Taylor, because he wouldn't be singing a song about him leaving the band after he had left the band.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so what's next?
Michael, you've got a lot to answer for.
Strange one. What do you think?
Acoustic song, question mark? That's new. Very beautiful. For a slow song, not so bad.
So,
because it started off acoustic and then it went into its own thing.
Yeah, this song doesn't reach me.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like it was, maybe this song was rushed to get on the record. Simon Le Bon, a big friend with Michael Hutchins from In Excess, lead singer. Apparently they were good friends. And Michael died.
Something I don't get. Michael's song was about Michael Hutchins, but he was not dead yet.
He wasn't?
That's what Tom Baker says.
Interesting.
Well, there you go.
I don't remember when he died. I remember how he died.
77 didn't, don't, and I will not be okay with this one. 77 didn't like it.
So maybe the song is about their friendship?
Maybe.
But then what has he got to answer for?
No.
Yeah, don't like it. But no means don't like it.
I don't know. Or Tom Baker saying he didn't... I don't know. I'm sure he'll explain.
But I think what he means is this was written before that time. I didn't know that. I assumed this was a reaction to the death of Michael Hutchins.
It's about Michael Hutchins dead as Simon Le Bon still missing him, not talking to Simon.
So see, then.
But Tom says he was alive when they recorded the album.
Right.
So
there's
some weird stuff happening.
Yeah, I don't know, but in my mind, that's what it was. But I don't know. But certainly, he said it's about Michael Hutchins.
Yeah. Well, we know that. Well, there you go.
Michael, you got a lot to answer for. I don't know. I'm sorry, doesn't reach me.
Yeah. How much do you know about Michael Hutchins?
Well, listen, In Excess is a big band.
Okay.
They were pretty. I mean, everybody knows. Dream on, black boy.
I gotta be honest.
Dream on, white girl. Wake up to a brand new day. Find your dreams are washed away.
Someone said their favorite song is Midnight Sun, which is the next one. That's why I wanted to get to that one.
Okay.
Because if somebody said that was their favorite song earlier in the chat, I want to hear about it.
So, Midnight Sun is a beautiful song.
You want me to read my notes?
Go ahead, it's fine.
They compress Simon's voice and do some weird melody choices. Not horrible, but not the best on the album.
Interesting.
Midnight Sun, alternate version, the best song from the album. One of a lot Duran mistakes, Warren guitar ending solo, and Simon amazing voices. Hello, Follow the Midnight Sun. Tom Baker says one of his favorites was Midnight Sun. Ron says Michael died 1997.
So, one of two things happened.
Yeah.
Either this is a song about the death and they rushed the song, which is my thought because this
Yeah.
song sounds rushed,
Yep.
or it's written before that and not about that.
Mhm.
I guess we're not going to know.
Yeah. Well,
Unless you get it
go
from
ask
him.
Simon.
You got to get it from him, and I would never walk up to him and try to bring up a bad memory like this.
Yeah.
So
He was not dead yet.
we're never gonna know. I'm never gonna know.
Oh, well. There you go. What do you
So
think?
Midnight Sun is
A lot of people like Midnight Sun.
Is a beautiful song,
Mhm.
and this certainly has to be in the remembered list for me.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's as good as other popular songs like Save a Prayer or something like that, but this is a beautiful, beautiful song, and I really like it.
If you've never listened to alternate version after the live, you must do to see the difference between these two versions.
So the alternate version is a studio or a live version? I would like to hear it. But I don't, by the way, I don't mind this version, and I like that sort of guitar thing Warren's doing at the end.
Yeah.
Sort of backwards.
Tom says, my fave. Ron says, it's good, not fave. 77 says, studio.
Oh, so there's an alternate version studio.
Yeah.
I got to check that out, too.
No, it's saying after the live, as in, we're live right now, so
Oh.
after the live, you should go watch the studio.
I really should.
Yeah. That's
So
what
I'm
was
going to
being
see
said.
Warren doing... What did Warren do?
One of those songs.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Somebody write it down again.
Out of my mind.
Out of my mind.
And then I want to see an alternate version of Midnight Sun. I love Midnight Sun. I
Well,
have a, you know, it's funny. Maybe I've heard that somewhere. I have a bunch of demos from this record.
Fave of this album. Tom says this is his fave.
Could be, right?
He's saying it's number one.
I think it's certainly in the discussion.
Man, I don't agree. Man, I don't agree.
The lyrics and the way he's singing and some of that weird ethereal guitar playing, that reaches.
Oh, you
me.
like ethereal. I
do.
don't.
I
I
do.
don't.
I do.
So there you go. Alternate version has 2 minutes with Warren solo and Simon's scream follow the Midnight Sun. Tom Baker says it is the most atmospheric.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
There is something beautiful shining. That's all I got.
I don't like it.
Well,
I don't like it. So Long Suicide.
so what a weird.
Quiet parts interchanged with rock parts. I very much enjoy it. Good drums. Has some jam band rock and roll vibes. Like the backup vocals. So it sounds like I was a fan of this. I did this last night, in case you're wondering.
So it's kind of beautiful, and it's a dark subject, and then all of a sudden it gets like almost satanic.
Yeah.
Brr, hello, I'm alive. Brr,
Yeah, I think
I'm loaded, I'm alive. Brr.
quiet interchanged with loud is what I said.
But then at the end, it's sort of this weird, sort of I don't know what's going on there. Again, I get ethereal bits out of this one too.
Not as ethereal as that last
Not
one.
as ethereal because that hard rock really breaks your eardrums. But
Yes, there are poisonous women out there.
that's what that's about.
Tom Baker says. Yes, there are poisonous women out there. Beat after beat sounds like a 70s David Bowie song.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Because David Bowie did do some heavier rock stuff.
And even worse than Poison. Can I ask something, please? I would love if we could do Dance Macabre Deluxe version on Halloween weekend, please, because I love the album. What do you think about that? It's unorthodox.
When's Halloween weekend?
Sometime this month.
Okay, great. Let me write that down. Sometime this month.
The 31st.
I think that's like a Tuesday or something.
It is
this
a
year.
Thursday.
Thursday?
So we're either the Saturday before, maybe the Saturday after.
Well, maybe you have to show up Thursday.
No. I will be at school.
Not at night.
Oh, you're right about that. You want me to drive all the way back and then go back on Friday? Because we still got school on Friday.
I'm going to...
You want me to drive? Okay, wait. Let me just...
It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You act like you're flying to the moon. Listen.
I gotta pay for gas.
Take it easy. I'll give you a $5. That will get you about 1 mile. There is a feature on that thing that I was looking at today, and it said invite someone.
Mm-hmm.
I bet we could simulcast. You could be at your laptop at home, and I could be here, and we could do it.
Okay.
It's at least worth a try. So you asked for it Halloween night.
Instead of me enjoying Halloween.
You can do an hour. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I could probably just sit and do it.
You got a rod for deluxe.
But then the people are going to have to wonder why I can't work the machine and get the notes. So.
Also, you're still going to have to work the machine.
I'm going to have to work half of it.
And you'll also have to figure out how to invite me.
I wonder if you could invite me.
No, I can't go live.
Oh, you can't?
I don't have enough subscribers. We've been over this.
Oh, but you can connect to me on your laptop, right?
You're acting like I know any of this.
Well, you have a YouTube account because you've got YouTube
I have a YouTube
Premium.
account.
So I should be able to send you an invite.
I am under the impression that I cannot go live.
Okay. So what we'll do,
are
you listening?
Yep.
You and I will test this out to see if it's possible.
Okay.
If it's possible, you'll get a laser brains. For Dance Macabre Deluxe on Halloween night. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
What do you think? 6, 7 p.m.?
Beat after Beat says fill her tank up as a favor and an oil change too.
Hey, Beat.
Sounds like.
Listen up. There's a lot more than filling tank and oil changes, okay? Don't worry, she's covered.
No. I'm going to need that oil.
There's a lot of covering. Relax.
Last time. Well, you did birth me.
I was not there. Actually, I think I was.
You were there.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So, nice try.
Yeah, I was the one who pulled you out of there.
Yeah, you gotta...
Get over here.
You gotta give me money for the rest of my life.
I pulled you out and I said, okay, come on, let's go do a Duran video.
Yeah, and then that's how it went down.
Let's do laser brains.
Yeah.
And you went, what?
And then we talked about it, and I still knew how to work the computer, and you didn't.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Babies love computers.
Ron says, no, do it on the weekend. I'm not here on Halloween night. I'm going to see Neon Fields that night.
Oh.
He wants me to do it the following weekend.
It would certainly be better for this laser brain over here. So do you see it happening then on the Saturday before Halloween or slightly after is the question?
What'd you say?
Hi.
I was reading the chat.
I was asking him.
Oh, okay.
Should we do it before Halloween or slightly after?
Yeah, are we doing it the Saturday before Halloween or the Saturday after Halloween?
Because if it's November 2nd, is anybody still in the mood for Halloween?
I'm in the mood for Halloween.
I'm certainly in the mood to discuss the album.
Yeah, plus it's Thanksgiving next. That could also be a thing.
I can tell you, I love Thanksgiving.
Me too.
Almost every part. Would you like to know the one part of Thanksgiving I don't like?
You're not supposed to make fun of me, otherwise I'm not going to do it. The 2nd of November, so after.
All right.
So
let's write that down. 2nd of November.
Well, just the Saturday after Halloween, we're talking about Dance Macabre, the deluxe album.
All right. I don't know who's going to get pushed back, but...
Well, it'll be fine.
Probably Red Carpet Massacre.
Maybe.
Which deserves a push.
Which I think it'll be okay.
I think it will be. So you ask, it shall be done.
Yep.
I won't have the deluxe... I don't think I'll have the deluxe album by then.
Well, we can still talk about it.
We can talk about it. I could show. You know what? I'll just show the old one, and maybe I can put a red filter on it.
And you just pretend it's the new one.
Because that's all the difference.
Yeah.
The only difference in the cover.
Hey guys, look! Wow. Yeah.
Like, remember Brady Bunch and Greg had a fake UFO?
Yeah, these people are going to be doing stuff for Halloween. You didn't even think about them.
I don't know. Do we have any kids in the audience?
Neon Fields.
That's a concert.
You guys going to a concert on Halloween night.
It's worthy.
That's awesome.
So, Midnight Sun, I like, and I think it is a cut above.
No. We were talking about So Long Suicide.
So Long Suicide. That's where I just Midnight Sun is so good that I had to fit it in one more time.
Or you forgot what we were doing and where
So
you were.
so I like So Long Suicide, but I like the slower bits,
I don't. I like the faster bits.
and I really like the end when it's and the voice starts going. I like that.
What?
His voice sort of starts.
I know, but
They do something to it.
But the way you're reenacting it is.
When I hear that, I see a Simon Le Bon committing suicide, and his soul is floating out of the body during that part of the song, and that's what it sounds like. The spirit is floating up, hopefully to heaven.
So why don't we talk about Undergoing Treatment?
We are another fan diss.
Also, 1 second. Also, there's a band, Bittersweet Machines, that has an EP Duran cover, and they had it released in 2021. Midnight Sun alternate version as a single.
Wow. I don't know. I will tell you, I don't like. I've never heard a Duran cover I liked.
Beat After Beat says Undergoing Treatment sounds a little silly.
Well, it's also a little fan diss, in my opinion.
Melody with the hip-hop background was an interesting move. Trying to rap, but not really. A little too weird.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't rap, though. I prefer him singing.
It was more of a... It was just like, it was bordering on switching to that.
But what does it mean, if you ever catch me in the garden? What the hell is he talking about? Is that a term I don't understand?
Garden. I don't know.
I understand the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ever catch me in the garden, don't ever stop me for an autograph. If you ever catch me in the arcade, don't even stop me for a photograph. He's
getting asked for too many.
But what is the garden? I never understood that. If you ever catch me in the garden, what garden is he talking about? Eden? I wonder. But it's sort of a fan diss song of "Don't Pester Me." So maybe they'd had it at this point. Plus, I think it's a little tongue in cheek as well.
Yeah, no, I can't figure it out.
Okay. Well,
I don't think it's a thing.
I'm sure someone from England can tell me.
Medazzaland, 6 songs I like. Pop Trash, 6 songs I like. That's it. Well, there you go.
We have anything else to say about Undergoing Treatment?
I mean, those were my thoughts. I liked it. I thought it was kind of fun.
It's a little silly fun, but I mean, it's not going to be on my greatest hits record.
Tom Baker says, I love playing with uranium.
Well.
Exclamation mark.
That's on Pop Trash, and I'm not going to talk about Pop Trash other than to say he's probably pretty right.
Yeah. Ron says, Beat After Beat says, Looney Home Garden, ?
Looney Home Garden?
It must be something.
I don't know him.
Ron says, it's about when he went to the dentist and problems.
That's Medazzaland.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the garden means, though. If you ever catch me in the garden.
What if you're just in a garden?
I guess. How many times has he been in a garden and somebody asked for an autograph?
Probably a couple times. Maybe he's referring to a specific person. He was like at a nice garden or something, and some guy came up and started stabbing him or something.
Wow. Okay.
So he decided to write a song about it.
That got out of control quick.
What? I'm talking like a fan. Well, you can see why he's so sour.
You're talking like a fan. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a tongue in cheek, but I mean, listen, if you are a celebrity of their stature, people are taking pictures of you while you're at dinner constantly, and I could see why. We watched that Jessica Simpson thing.
Yeah.
And those two noodle heads were upset. People were taking pictures of them.
Yeah.
And now they would go over there and whatever to get their picture taken.
Yeah, I think there's a certain amount that's too much.
But it's just funny, those two.
Yeah.
They were in the spotlight for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Pop Trash.
Yeah. The extended version of Electric Barbarella, or whatever that version is.
The reason I put the extended version of Electric Barbarella is not that that's the best version of the song, but they take that effect off of Simon's voice, and the voice is beautiful.
Beat After Beat says Looney Home Garden ? And then he says where they blow bubbles in the garden. Does that mean anything to you?
No,
I don't know. Well, whatever.
it's something beyond me.
Okay, go ahead.
What was I saying?
They didn't put a filter on his voice.
Yeah, that's why it's on there. I prefer him singing Electric Barbarella without that filter.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that? Ba ba ba.
I didn't like it.
Ba ba ba.
I didn't like it.
Well, you don't like extended mixes, but I don't think you were focusing in on the voice, were you?
I like Wild Boys, the extended version.
That's pretty good. Wilder than Wild Boys.
Wow.
Plus, there's a video.
Yeah, I like that.
They made this extended. It's nice.
I don't like the Electric Barbarella one. It's about he was having dreams while he was out of it.
Oh, so it's also a dentist song?
There could be
Undergoing treatment?
multiple.
I guess that makes sense, right?
There could be multiple dentist songs.
I guess there could be. It's hard to mine a dentist trip. One song, let alone two. But okay, that makes all right. Undergoing treatment.
Well, there you go. Undergoing treatment. You're getting your teeth fixed. Listen, man, Ron knows what he's talking about.
See, I was thinking undergoing treatment was like we're trying to put our egos in check, and if you guys keep begging us for pictures, our ego is never going to shrink.
You can always interpret it that way.
I think I will.
Yeah, go ahead. You know what? I gave you permission.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what do you got next?
Sinner or Saint?
So Sinner or Saint? What did you think of Sinner or Saint?
Listen, I like rock, but that might be a touch too much, Simon. Chillax. That's my thoughts.
What are you? Sinner? I can't even remember how that would go. Sinner or Saint?
It's a lot.
I think that was a B-side, right? Or something. Maybe that was Barbarella's B-side.
It was weird. Yeah, I think it might have been because you added it at the very end.
There it is. Sinner or Saint.
Yeah.
Why did I think Silva Halo was on something as a B-side? Why do I remember that?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It says it was on the album proper. I just don't know if it was a
But I think
B-side.
they also threw... Sometimes their B-sides, they are on the album proper.
Oh, okay. Beat After Beat says, sounds like hard rock. I like hard rock. That was a little bit much for me. Maybe I'm not the hardest rocker I know. Tom Baker says, heard it once.
Well.
77 says, now as we talk about this period and Warren, you must... Listening Warren albums, he has some diamonds in these he has released, one of them called Big Stress.
Big Stress. And he sings. I would like to hear it.
Moving in, move it out, move up, big stress.
That's pretty good. I think he sort of infringed on something there, but I'm not sure.
I think so.
I like
Moving on a big stress.
I'm a big Warren fan, so.
Well, there you go. Now you got something to do.
I thought Warren was very good for them, and I thought he was a very good guitar player. But
forgot it. I only love the strong Duran.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Medazzaland era, so
yeah.
I'm a completionist. I want everything in there,
mm-hmm.
at least to discuss it. But you're right. I mean,
tell me, what's your favorite? There's an obvious choice.
There really is,
mm-hmm.
but I have to say Electric Barbarella.
Electric Barbarella is also my favorite.
I love that tune.
And that's one that everybody knows.
Let's say that. And then that.
Why are you doing arcade?
That's the bass line. You're off.
No, I'm just saying that's...
You just hit the wrong note.
That's from like a video game or something.
That's Pac-Land.
Yeah. That's what you were doing.
Pac-Man cartoon. No. If you listen to the bass line in Electric Barbarella,
77 says Midnight Sun and Out of My Mind are his favorites.
Out of my mind, I can't escape from the feeling.
Mine has to be Electric Barbarella. What is your least favorite?
Well, I'm just talking about Electric Barbarella.
Oh, excuse me.
You've got a song that rocks like that, still poppy, and you get a lyric like, emotional and cold as ice, all of the things I like. Mwah.
Mwah.
Electric Barbarella.
Electric Barbarella, I pulled you in.
Plug.
You do that every time.
She's a robot.
I pulled you in.
What is your least favorite? Not the one you hate.
Silva Halo.
No. And you know what? I would even probably put Um, Be My Icon or Buried in the Sand below Silva Halo. Because I think there's something.
Okay, so what's your definitive least favorite on the
I'm gonna go
album?
Be My Icon.
Okay.
I don't dig it.
Okay. I love all the guitar player Don Brown plays on Evil Woman. Wow, wow, wow. What a guitar. And he does a little.
Again, I've probably said this before. Don Brown showing up after Andy takes off is, to me, a minor miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a guy who's clutch. He can do it all,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got to. He's so unassuming and low drama. He's a workhorse.
Beat After Beat says Undergoing is my worst.
Undergoing treatment. See, it's a little too silly for me to put it on my worst.
Okay. I agree. I don't think it's the worst.
Because I like a little silly.
Yeah.
But I don't like a bummer.
Yeah.
And Be My Icon is sort of a bummer.
I
would say So Long Suicide is a bummer, but that rock part refuses to be a bummer.
Silva Halo just bums me out.
Well, I think Silva Halo was probably one of their little musical interludes patches together, and they sort of did something with that. That song never sounds finished to me.
Yeah.
That's another one that, like Michael, doesn't sound finished to me.
Mm-hmm.
Silva Halo doesn't. They needed another pass at that, I think.
Yeah.
But overall, there's still some interesting stuff in there. But overall, I'm gonna say, Be My Icon is the one I'd probably press skip on.
Your favorite is Electric Barbarella. Your least favorite is Be My Icon. What is your sleeper?
So my sleeper is, please listen to Midnight Sun. There is something beautiful. Well, it's not a single, and it's way down the album.
Okay, I don't like it.
It's on the flip side, and it's way down there. That's the definition of sleeper.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna listen to it again.
Well, actually, what I'd said was, there is something beautiful shining, and it's that song. Don't sleep on that one, please. If you're looking at this album and you're going to say, I only want to hear Out of My Mind, say, no, here's a sleeper. Midnight Sun. What is your sleepy?
Who Do You Think You Are?
Oh, you like that, huh?
I like that one.
You like it when people are dissed. You are an aggressive person.
I didn't even know this was a diss song when I walked into here, and that was already my sleeper I had ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I always leave it open for like discussion and whatever, but hearing the song, not knowing anything about it, I think it was great. Which, if you're somebody who needs a sleeper, you're probably someone who doesn't know the story behind songs.
Probably. I'll give you that.
So
I'm surprised I know it. I don't know how I know it, but I
just enjoy it at face value.
Mm-hmm.
I said it sounds like old emo bands. Something you didn't even know what it was, which I find shocking.
Emo to me is that comedian. There was a comedian called Emo.
No.
And he talked like this, and his comedy was like, he had the worst delivery, and his jokes were the lamest.
It's a subgenre of punk music. It was called emo due to his lyrics, which were emotional and confessive than typical punk songs.
No, that's
they're depressed.
I think his name was Emo Phillips.
Well, I'm just telling you that's what that means.
And I shit you not, the one joke that I can't get out of my head because it's so lame. I went to college and I took a what the hell was it? Boy, I'm gonna kill it. But something about a camouflage class or something. Like, I don't even understand what that means. Like, the premise doesn't even make sense to me. The teacher said, "How come you're never in class?" And he goes, "Because I'm doing it." Because it's a camouflage. Class, yeah. And I'm like, what is a camouflage class?
Yeah.
Or am I murdering that joke? Any Emu Phillips fans out there?
Probably not. Ron says, my faves are Big Bang, Electric Barbarella, Out of My Mind, Michael, Midnight Sun, No, Silva Halo, No, It's Okay, Going Under Treatment. So he did a few for each of his categories.
What's his sleeper?
He didn't give a sleeper. I was just rereading it to make sure I understood.
I'm not going to argue with that.
My favorite is Electric Barbarella. My least favorite is Silva Halo. My sleeper is Who Do You Think You Are?
So, songs I can't live without. Electric Barbarella, Big Bang Generation.
That's a good one.
The diss song, What is it again?
Who do you think you are? I like that one.
Midnight Sun, certainly. I really like So Long Suicide, so I don't want that to go anywhere.
I think that was good.
And Undergoing Treatment would definitely be in there. If I never heard Buried in the Sand, or what was the other one? Be My Icon or Silver Halo,
I would
or
be
Sinner
fine
or Saint, I'd be all right.
if those were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could possibly sell
Possibly.
those. But so that's it. Capitol Records was not a fan of this record and said, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Sent you the door.
Mm-hmm.
So long, sailor.
So long.
And I think that they got some fly-by-night record label next. I think it was Hollywood Records or something.
Pop Trash was the worst album name. All the Duran haters literally used it against them.
So Pop Trash was sort of tongue-in-cheek.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the songs on there is Pop Trash Movie. I think it comes from that.
Mm-hmm.
And Pop Trash Movie is actually a pretty good song. I'm living in a pop trash movie. We start together in every scene. We'll all be famous for just a few minutes. Part of a celluloid dream. We star in every
Oh, he's still
scene.
going.
I'll die here singing.
He's still going.
Just to irritate you.
Mm-hmm. Dance Macabre Deluxe version has hit number 10 on download's second highest entry.
I think it should be first. Well, can we, I know we're going to discuss the deluxe record, but can we just say,
That's great.
for a refresh, and by the way, I haven't heard the album bits that they're not showing, but for a album 1 year later refresh, there's some excellent shit on there. The more I listen to New Moon on Monday, I love it. Especially in headphones, it's fantastic. And Evil Woman, you can tell me that's not fun?
Dude, that New Moon on Monday rocks.
I wonder if they held back Evil Woman, or because it really does have a single flavor to it.
It's great.
And they are kind of pushing it. In fact, that video that they show, that's sort of they call it a preview. The thing I saw said, in parentheses, preview. Yeah. I'm wondering if they're not making a video for it.
Ooh, that might be fun.
That might be good.
I'd be into that.
Maybe with Jeff Lynne in it.
Oh,
dressed up as an evil woman. What do you think about that?
You need to get in contact with Simon if they haven't already filmed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeff, will you be in the video dressed up as an evil woman?
We're asking you.
Make sure you hashtag Jeff Lynne on this video in the description.
That'll be up to you.
Hashtag Jeff Lynne.
That will be up to you.
Okay. Hurry up and do it.
Can't do it right now.
I know.
Okay.
Later you gotta do it.
Okay.
I guess that's all. What else can you say about Medazzaland? So long, Medazzaland.
So long.
We hardly knew ye.
You want me to get up? Let me know when you're
ready.
Bye,
everybody. We'll see you next week, and we will talk about pop trash.